Have you ever left a room feeling exhausted, even though nothing bad happened? No argument, no insult, no obvious conflict, just conversation. And yet when you walked away, you felt heavy, irritated, drained. You replay the interaction in your head, trying to figure out what went wrong. But nothing did, at least not on the surface. They didn't attack you, they didn't criticize you, they didn't even raise their voice. So why do you feel like your energy was siphoned out of you? Because not all emotional impact is loud. Some people don't drain you with words, they drain you with presence. Today, we're breaking down the psychology behind people who exhaust you without ever saying anything explicitly negative. The subtle dynamics, the invisible power plays, the emotional currents you feel but can't immediately explain. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why your body often senses what your mind hasn't yet processed. Stay with me. The first reason some people drain you silently is emotional contagion. Human beings absorb emotional states unconsciously. We mirror tone, posture, breathing patterns, and micro-expressions without realizing it. If someone carries unresolved stress, resentment, insecurity, or negativity, you can feel it, even if they never verbalize it. Their sighs are heavier, their pauses are tense, their body language is closed. Your nervous system picks up on these cues instantly. You begin adjusting without knowing why. You soften your tone, you monitor your words, you try to keep the atmosphere stable. And that constant internal adjustment costs energy. They may not say anything draining, but your system is working overtime. Another reason is passive tension. Some people communicate dissatisfaction non-verbally. They don't express needs directly. They don't articulate frustration. Instead, they radiate subtle disapproval. A look, a delayed response, a slight withdrawal. Nothing concrete enough to confront, but enough to make you feel slightly on edge. This creates what psychologists call hypervigilance. You start scanning for signals. You try to decode what you might have done wrong. You become emotionally alert in their presence. And prolonged hypervigilance is exhausting. You're not tired because they attacked you. You're tired because you were subconsciously defending yourself. There's also the dynamic of emotional dumping without reciprocity. Some individuals don't argue or insult. Instead, they constantly express subtle complaints, worries, or negativity. Not dramatic enough to call toxic, but persistent enough to shift the atmosphere. They share stress but rarely solutions. They vent but rarely listen. They unload but rarely ask about you. Over time, the emotional exchange becomes one-sided. You become the regulator, the stabilizer, the quiet support system, and while you may care about them, your energy depletes because it's rarely replenished. Emotional imbalance drains more than conflict ever could. Another silent drain comes from insecurity projection. Insecure individuals often compare themselves silently. They may not accuse you, but they subtly compete. If you share success, their enthusiasm feels muted. If you express excitement, they respond neutrally. If you shine, they dim the moment. Nothing openly hostile, but the atmosphere shifts. You feel yourself shrinking slightly to keep things comfortable. You downplay achievements. You soften opinions. You minimize presence. This self-editing requires effort, and over time, constantly reducing yourself to maintain someone else's comfort becomes exhausting. Some people drain you because they lack boundaries and expect you to compensate. They may not demand directly, but they assume availability. They linger in conversations. They overstay emotionally. They assume you'll always listen. And because they never explicitly ask, you never explicitly refuse. So the cycle continues. You feel obligated rather than willing. And obligation drains faster than choice. When emotional access to you feels unlimited, your energy becomes overdrawn. Without boundaries, generosity becomes depletion. There's also the psychological weight of unspoken resentment. Sometimes people hold feelings they never articulate. Instead of confronting issues, they internalize them. But internalized emotions don't disappear, they leak. Through sarcasm, through cold tone, through subtle distance. You feel the shift but can't address it clearly because nothing has been said. This ambiguity creates tension. You sense something unresolved, and unresolved tension lingers in the background like static noise. It may not be loud, but it's constant. And constant low-level tension quietly drains emotional reserves. But here's the deeper layer. Some people drain you because they are disconnected from themselves. They lack self-awareness. They don't process emotions internally. They don't regulate stress effectively. So when they enter a room, they bring unresolved energy with them. And you, being perceptive, absorb it. You try to fix it, stabilize it, neutralize it. You become the emotional filter. The problem isn't that they're evil, it's that they're unprocessed. And being around unprocessed energy requires effort. Your nervous system remains slightly elevated, your empathy stays activated, your boundaries stay flexible. That constant engagement creates fatigue. So why do some people drain you without ever saying a word? Because energy isn't only transmitted through language. It moves through posture, through tone, through unresolved emotion, through imbalance, through subtle tension. You don't feel tired because you're weak. You feel tired because your system is responding to unspoken dynamics. The body registers what the conscious mind tries to rationalize. And here's the important part. Not every draining person is malicious. But that doesn't make the drain imaginary. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions. Do you feel lighter or heavier, expanded or reduced? Your emotional state is data. You don't need dramatic conflict to justify distance. Sometimes protecting your energy means recognizing that silence can carry weight, and you are not obligated to carry what someone else refuses to process. If this made you reflect, sit with it, because awareness of your energy is the first step to protecting it.